Victor Perton here on behalf of the Australian Leadership Project. Recently, Ted Perton caught up with the Australian Federal Minister for Industry, Innovation and Science, the Honourable Arthur Sinodinos.
Senator, what are your favourite stories of contemporary Australian leaders, especially those you have worked with?
Well, I've worked with a number of leaders. With John Howard, one of my favourite recollections of him was his courage in deciding to take on tax reform in the late 90s as a way of unifying the then government and giving it a purpose in the second half of its first term. And that took leadership because we knew it was a tough issue, but he also knew it was the right thing for the country. And if you go out there and explain to people why something should be done in the interest of the country and it can be done fairly, you can take people with you.
What are the unique qualities of Australian leadership and leaders?
Well, I think with Australian leaders in particular, there has to be a capacity to relate to the people you seek to lead, to be able to explain to them why something has to be done and why it's in their interest that it be done, or where possible appeal to their innate patriotism, asking them to call it for Australia. So it's that capacity to relate to your fellow Australians which is very important.
What do Australians want of their leaders?
I think what they want of their leaders ultimately is authenticity. They want to believe that someone is doing what they're doing as a leader because they believe in it, they believe it's the right thing to do, they're doing it for the right reasons. And the Australian people are not stupid, they can smell a rat. So they know when someone is doing it for the right reasons.
What are the most observable changes in Australian politicians today?
I think a number of things have happened. Because of the fragmentation of the media and of politics, a lot of people like to take a certain position and don't seem to be willing to compromise. I don't think that's a good thing. It doesn't mean you have to compromise on everything. You should never compromise on your values, but public policy is all about trying to find the greatest good for the greatest number. So we have to be prepared in that sense to compromise with each other.
Who are the leaders in your life?
Well, my father was an important leader to me because he helped not only to bring me up, but I learned a lot, as you do, by example. Leaders I've learned from in public life, working with John Howard, I learned a lot from him, both in the way you conduct yourself and about politics and about why you should be in politics. They're the sort of people that come to mind.
Well, that's a huge thank you to Senator Arthur Sinodinos for taking the time to talk to us about Australian leadership, and to Ted Perton for undertaking the interview. If you'd like to read more about Australian leadership or contribute your own wisdom and insights into Australian leadership, please go to our website www.australianleadership.com.